Hi folks, Dave, the Honest Audiophile. This is the Hidizs AP80 Pro, and these are my Honest Audiophile impressions. I want to thank Hidizs for sending over the AP80 Pro for review. Do greatly appreciate it. Hidizs, you rock. Alright, so the AP80 Pro, this is a digital audio player, or a DAP, or a portable music player. This has some interesting features about it and some different specs than you would find for the price point of $159. It currently is available on the Hidizs website. It comes in several different colors: black, gray, blue, and red, and it has a dual DAC ES9218P in it, and also it has balanced and single-ended outputs. You have all kinds of other features like Bluetooth in and out, USB in and out, all kinds of EQs. So let's take a closer look at the AP80 Pro. Taking off the lid here, and you have this, says, "Music is the voice of an angel. When music comes around, she kisses you on the cheek. Love, peace, and happiness surround you, never left." And you have your AP80 Pro, which we'll set to the side here. Lifting the bottom lid, you do get a few little accessories. You get this little silicone protector. You also get a USB to USB-C charging cable or data transfer, and then you also get a micro USB to USB-C. You get a screen protector, and you get a bunch of paperwork and a user manual. We'll set all of this back in the box and set it to the side. The AP80 Pro. Now you're going to want a cleaning cloth handy because this thing is a fingerprint magnet. This is the blue edition, obviously. You can get it, as I said, in black, gray, and red as well. Very well built for the price point and also for its size. It is somewhat minimalistic on its features. On the left-hand side, you have your micro SD card. On the bottom, you have your Type-C for data transfer and charging, and then balanced and single-ended. That is a 2.5 balanced output. And then on the right-hand side, you have back, forward, play, pause, and the volume knob, which also is your power button. An Alps potentiometer on the inside, and makes that noise when you turn the volume knob. Comparing it in size to a few other DAPs, this is the Sony A105, and as you can tell, it is thicker than the A105. The A105 is a lot longer, and the A105 just has a lot more buttons. And then the Sony WM1A, it just swallows up the AP80 Pro. It's about double the weight. I do find the WM1A to be very comfortable in the hand though. And also the A105. It's a little more squarish, but find that to be comfortable. Find this one to be extremely comfortable, and it just disappears in a pocket. And I really find it to be very well built. Let's turn it on. So you get a nice little introduction here, and it says Hidizs, relish the music. And then you get player, FM. This will do FM radio. You plug in your headphones and it'll work as an antenna. It does have a step counter, Bluetooth. Also, you can do books and your settings. So on Bluetooth, you can turn it on and you can do Hibby link. You can also change all your different codecs to whatever kind you want. And you can adjust your volume You can search for devices. You can see what paired devices are and what other availables. In the books, you can download various books. I do not have any books downloaded. And then you, under system settings, you can change your language. You can update your database. You can do it either manually or auto. Brightness, backlight timer, color theme, font size. You can change your USB modes to either dock, audio, or storage. And then you can change your button operations, your time settings, your idle timer, sleep timer, standbys, inline remotes. If you have one, you can do recording of the steps if you're going to use a step counter. You can lock your volume knob, screensaver settings. You can do a factory reset, and you can update the firmware. The firmware is available from the Hidizs website. Going into the player itself, there's several functionalities. Swiping will take you to the different screens. As you can see, it's a fairly responsive screen, 2.45 inches. I do wish it was a little bit bigger. My fingers tend to be a little bit fat finger happy on it, but for the most part, I'm able to just scroll around. So there's your actual playing, whatever music you are playing of choice. And then if you hit the hearts, you can favorite, you can see if you have any recents. And also you can see if you have any playlists, which I did not create any, but it is pretty simple. You can also load playlists. Hitting the little musical note, you can see all your songs, or you can sort them by what the file type that is on the micro SD card. You can also sort it by albums. You can sort it by artist. Get to see a little bit of some of the artists that I have in my library. You can also sort it by genres of music. Found that genres of music is a little odd how it does that. And then you can also sort it by different formats. So you can, if you have DSD, DSF, FLAC, WAV, or any of those, it'll find it. Swiping further over and going to the Hidizs, you can update the database. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Let's see what it finds here. See how long this takes. I do have it set on auto, so it should do it. Or I normally had it set on auto, so it would do it, but I must have accidentally touched manual mode. We will see how long it takes to find all of the songs in my library here. This will be a good example of the functionality of it. Overall, though, I do really enjoy the Hidizs AP80 Pro. I think it's very well built. Okay, let's go ahead and cancel that. All right, going back over, you can do the MSEB, which if you activate it, you can change. So you just activate it by hitting that little button up top there. And you can change the overall temperature of the music to be cool, bright, warm, dark. You can change your bass extension, bass texture. You can add it in to be more thumpy, or if you want it to be more fast. You can change note thickness to be crisp or thick, vocals recessed or more forward, female overtones, sibilance, impulses, airiness. You can just change all kinds of things on it. You can also do equalizer. You activate the equalizer and you can change everything that your heart so desires. If you want big bass, you can add that all in. You also have, the abilities to change, well, maybe I would get it turned off. There we go. If you go into the player mode and you just play, I didn't use the EQs or any of those other settings. It does have different filters on it. So if you hit the little 3 buttons, you can change your equalizer there. If you go up on the, while you're playing music and you hit play, you can change your gains on the fly. You can turn on or off Bluetooth. There's all kinds of options. And then when you're changing the volumes, you can do it just by clicking, or you can scroll. I find it's a little easier to just bump it with that. It does take a moment though to go back to the screen. So if you are still in that and you're like, okay, I set my volume, I want it at 26, and then you touch it, it'll automatically just change until it cycles through and goes, okay, you want it set there. So it's kind of a frustration a little bit in that way. How does the AP80 Pro sound? Sounds very good. It has a nice natural tone and timbre to it, and it has a airy kind of lush sound. The bass is very well defined, has good clarity, very good details and resolution, good impact, not overly done. It's not super well boosted and big thumpy, but it does have enough impact to give you the details that you're looking for. Of course, it does depend on also what gear you're using. The mids are nice and refined. They have good details. They're nice and well balanced and cohesive, and I find that they have a natural aura to them. And then the treble is extended nicely, has good energy and nice sparkle to it without being fatiguing. It's not too elevated. It's not trying to boost things too much to open things up and show you more than what is intended. Soundstage wise is nice and wide, has good depth and layering. It does a very good job of portraying things accurately. I find that the AP80 Pro is a very well done sound signature, especially for the price point. I don't think I've heard another DAP in the sub 200 market that sounds as good. I do wish that I had a little bit more note weight, a little bit more density to the sound, and that it had a little bit more authority. But overall, I find that the AP80 Pro is just a very pleasing, natural and organic sound signature. When you compare it to something like the A105, which is double the price, A105 is Android based. You're going to get a lot more features. You're going to get a lot more functionalities. You get some more buttons and all that kind of stuff. And sound wise, I find that the A105 has that note weight, that density that I'm looking for, a little bit more accurate in tone and timbre, and it's just a little bit more pleasing sound signature. You do get a whole lot more functionalities, and you're able to stream different sources, whether you use Amazon HD, Tidal, Spotify, those type of things, because it is Android based. And then going over to the WM1A. The WM1A doesn't have the streaming functionalities, but it does all the high-res stuff, and in my opinion, it has a better UI than the AP80 Pro, but also this is about 10 times the price tag, and clearly this is way better sound-wise. It just is the most detailed and most accurate and tonally correct DAP that I've ever heard, and has 4.4 balanced and single-ended. Does have a proprietary cable though. Overall, I find that the AP80 Pro is just a fantastic device, and I truly do enjoy it, and I highly recommend it, especially for the price point. So if you're looking for a cheap DAP to take along that's going to preserve your phone battery while you're listening to music, the AP80 Pro is fantastic. It does everything that you're looking for and a whole lot more, and it sounds good to boot. So I highly recommend the Hidizs AP80 Pro. Hidizs, AP80 Pro plays with all these IEMs and everything else that I have. So just to tell you a few things I really enjoyed the AP80 Pro on. We have the Tin Hi-Fi T2, the C Audio Ume, the Fearless Audio Roland, the Meze, Ray Penta, ADV M512Ds, the Tin Hi-Fi T3 Plus, the CTM DaVinci 10s, Timeless from 7 Hertz, the Tin Hi-Fi P1 Plus, the Moondrop Katos, and the Blessing 2s from Moondrop. All sounded fantastic on the AP80 Pro, plus everything else. Everything I threw at it, IEM-wise, sounded fantastic. Headphones, it was a little iffy. I didn't really have the power to push any of the planar headphones, and also some of the dynamics, it just didn't have the drive for it. So it is mainly based to be run with IEMs. But if you have a very efficient headphone, it may push it or drive it. Overall, though, I really do enjoy the Hidizs AP80 Pro. I want to thank Hidizs for sending this over for review. Do greatly appreciate it. Hidizs AP80 Pro. If you're in the market for a budget DAP and you want a good sounding one, check this out. It's been Dave, the Honest Audiophile. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next video, somewhere on the screen, subscription links, notification bells. If you haven't already, check those off. Don't forget to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to the video if you enjoyed it or disliked it. Also, don't forget to check out the links down below for gear recommendations, music recommendations, and all kinds of other information regarding how you can contact the channel and support the channel. It's been Dave, the Honest Audiophile. Don't forget to enjoy the music, and honesty is the best policy.